you'll notice something rather strange. Let's go back to, let's just click one of these books. So if I click this book, and I'm going to get rid of all of this. Okay. Notice what's going to happen. If I type something and click either one of these, you can see that it always goes back, of course, to what was previously there. In fact, if I get out of there, I added a few other books. Let's just click this one here. It's empty because we haven't done anything. We haven't added any thoughts or anything. But if I type something, all right, and then I click anywhere in this as I change the state of this whole widget, it goes back to nothing. What is really happening? This is something to keep in mind. In this case here, because we're changing the state of this entire widget, that means we're resetting some of these fields, especially the ones that haven't been set before. Okay, so going back to our code, if we go to create profile there, let's see, or rather book details, I believe. Okay, that's where we are. Notice this is where we're setting everything up. Okay, so when this is rebuilt and ran. Let's test something real quick here. I'm just gonna go inside of a build method. Before anything happens, I'm gonna say print and pass, say, calling build method. Let's save this. All right, let's open our terminal just to see what happens in the background. I'm gonna clear everything. All right. So here we are again. So I'm gonna click here. Let's see what happens. It says calling build method. All right, that means this was called. All right, very good. So if I change anything, calling build method was called again. That's why you see 2 here, right? Saying that that's the second time that was called. If I change again the state, so it goes back and calls everything. That means then this build method is called each time this state is changed. That is the reason why whenever we add something here and we change the state, it goes ahead and calls build method again, which means that any fields that didn't have anything, in this case, our text editing control, we're passing the actual fields of the object. But remember, notes in our case here, it has nothing. So what it does, it just clears everything and puts nothing in there. Because photo URL and other fields, they do exist. So it just goes back and rerun and gets the book and does all the and captures or retrieves all those fields. But for this one that doesn't have anything, it just doesn't do anything. So how do we solve this problem? Well, one way of solving this problem is because we're inside of a stateful widget. That's why we are able to do this. We can call this state. So this is going to always be called. So this will be the best place for us to do some work. Which work we want to do? Well, for our text editing controller here, we can do for all other ones, but I'm just going to do with this one because this one always will give us trouble because it usually doesn't have anything when we start with, okay? So I'm going to just copy this and put that as an instance variable to this class, like that, okay? Which means then I will initialize it as it is like this, right inside of my init state, like that. So I'm going to just go like that and leave it at just like that. Let's save this. All right, let's do it again. Okay, let's see if this works. Any book really, I'm just click this and I'm gonna, this is empty. Actually has to be a book that has no thought so you can see the difference. I'm gonna start typing and I'm gonna change and you notice that it stays exactly what we have already added. That's good, that's different behavior and that's the behavior that we want. So if I change this other state, still the same, right? Like this, I can change to there and update. It's reading, come here, and it's there. So now it's working properly. So those are small things to think about, especially when we talk about changing states or in a stateful widget, is that if there's a widget that is giving you trouble, just make sure to look at it in a different perspective in that what is the information we want it to have when we are initializing the state of that widget. In this case, we want to make sure that this field always has exactly what it's supposed to have as we type, regardless of when we change the state of the entire widget, because that is ran all over again, which means invalidates everything which it didn't have anything before, and that's why you see it changing as we change the state of any of these widgets. All right, okay, I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.